Okay, so these pieces aren't going to have any black on them at all, so they'll just need to be touched up with a bit of primer first, ready to be painted. These ones I'm going to paint the insides just to give that little bit of protection, so we'll get that bit done. Obviously all these has been jet washed off, as you would have seen. I actually decided to wear some nitrile gloves this time, because usually whenever I do any hammer writing, I usually end up wearing get more paint on me than on the with everything I'm painting. What I do like about hammer writing is you don't have to be the greatest painter in the world to be able to use it, because it goes on so nice, and it just smooths out. So the brush strokes just smooth out, and generally speaking, where you're using hammerite, it doesn't, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't really need to have that kind of perfect smooth finish to it, because it would kind of look out of place if it was perfect, because it is, or certainly in the way I use it anyway. I use it in places where it is just for protecting those surfaces, but not the surfaces which are going to be readily visible. It's more of a something I know it's there. I know it's there, and the metalwork is protected. And looking at these ones, I was initially wondering whether or not they'd been anodized, but no, they haven't. They have been painted previously, with just like a grey finish to them. I'm opting to do it black, for a couple of reasons. A, it's the one I had, but actually, where it's going to be in dark areas anyway, and if I use a brighter colour, so I did initially think about, do I just get it when I get the outside surface of it painted red, do I just get them to paint the whole thing? But actually, I think if you painted the inside of it red, it would catch the eye. You'd see that flash of colour inside, and that's not what it's for. It's not supposed to catch the eye. You know, it's a working vehicle. You know, it's supposed to be sort of dark inside there. So actually, no, I don't want it. I don't want it red in here. I want the inside edges to be dark, to give that, you know, that background to the red that can be seen, because then again it will cause that red to stand out a bit more against that darker surface. So believe it or not, I have actually put some thought into painting the inside of these edges, or these pieces. I'm putting these bolts back in so I don't lose them, but thinking about it, when they go to the painters, they'll probably want these bolts taken out themselves, because they won't want to lose them either. So I might just get myself a bag or something just to put these in and label it up. The big thing I'm getting worried about now is that there are so many nuts and bolts that have taken off the truck that I don't want to either A, start getting them mixed up, and B, not lose the damn things. So these are the headlight clusters or headlight surrounds, and these were painted red inside, but as in exactly the same reason as before with the other ones, I don't want the colour inside to detract. Now, one thing I did have a thought about is I thought actually I could paint them silver inside here, and therefore actually get it to reflect any light out, because obviously the lights sit in here, but the lights actually sit just a fraction proud of this surround, so they shouldn't need any kind of mirror surface in here to reflect the light out. So I think it'll just look a bit better being black inside here as well. One thing I do need to do with these as well is to give them a not a polish, but a paint restore, just to try and get the what colour is on them, get the colour right, so that it's easier for the painters to then match that colour. There's enough surfaces for them to get the paint right. Just a little break then in the camera. I don't know. It's odd. The camera seems to be set up that only records for so long and then it will suddenly stop. And it's not a battery issue. It's not a card memory full issue. There must be a setting on the camera somewhere that says, you know, to only record for such a certain period of time. Which most of the time, not a problem, because the individual little jobs I do gives me the opportunity to just stop the camera, you know, to change where I'm aiming, what I'm looking at. But when I'm doing things like this, it takes quite a bit of time to do the job, and I know full well that what I'm recording is going to end up being a time lapse. But I still got to capture it. I still got to film it in order to do the time lapse. So this is the bumper, which will probably take quite a bit of paint, I would imagine, being the size of it. There is, as you can see, still a bit of a bend in it, but this is one heavy and strong bit of metal, and I can't straighten that out. I've even tried putting a bit of heat on it, and it made not the slightest bit of difference. So I'm painting it up, or at least painting up the black hammerite bit. But what I will do is I will ask the paint shop if they can have a go, because they're not just a paint shop, they are a bodywork shop as well. So they probably have got pieces of equipment that might well be able to straighten that. So if they can, they can. If they can't, I'm not going to die in a ditch over it. bit I've decided to paint black on the underside is the radiator cover. Like the bumper, it doesn't move, it doesn't come off, it doesn't lift. The bonnet, obviously, that lifts. So as a result of that, I'm probably I'll let that be resprayed red on both sides. Just because, as I said, it lifts, so people will be seeing the underside of that. So therefore, hey, we'll keep that red. But everything else, but this bit I'm going to keep. This bit I'm going to paint black. Also, you know, it's the engine. It's part of the cover for the engine as such. It covers up the radiator, so it probably is going to get dirt and grime. I mean, it was quite in a dirty state anyway when I came to cleaning it. So painting it black kind of hides a multitude of sins, really. So we'll paint it black, and yeah, we'll let them respray the front section of it. I do like to try and get myself comfortable when I'm painting.